Right now, your brain is erasing something from your vision. Literally. Your nose is right there, sitting in the center of your visual field, and your brain just decided you don't need to see it. It deleted it. Your brain is editing reality without your permission. And that's just the beginning. Because your brain doesn't just hide your nose. It rewrites your memories, distorts your sense of time, and convinces you that you're smarter, better looking, and more talented than you actually are. And there's one thing it hides from you that is so disturbing, so deeply unsettling, that when I reveal it near the end of this video, you will never look at your own thoughts the same way again. Brain lies every day. In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose 7 cognitive blind spots that are running your life right now. 7 things your brain actively conceals from you every single day. And by the time we're done, you'll understand why the most dangerous lies aren't the ones other people tell you. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. They're the ones your own mind tells you every morning before you even open your eyes. Let's start with something you can test right this second. Close one eye. See your nose. It's right there on the edge of your vision. Now open both eyes. Gone. Your brain just performed an act of digital erasure in real time. This is called unconscious selective attention, and it's not a glitch. It's a feature. Your brain processes roughly 11 million bits of sensory information every second, but your conscious mind, it can only handle about 50. Your brain filters out 99% of reality. That means right now, your brain is choosing what you see, what you hear, and what you feel. The hum of the air conditioner, the pressure of your clothes against your skin, the temperature of the air entering your nostrils. You weren't aware of any of those until I mentioned them. 11 million bits. Your brain hid all of it. Not because it doesn't matter, but because your brain decided it doesn't matter to you right now. And here's the unsettling part. If your brain is filtering out your own nose, what else is it filtering out? What important things are happening right in front of you that your brain has simply decided you don't need to know about? But that filter is nothing compared to what your brain does to your memories. Here's where it gets truly disturbing. Every single memory you have is a lie, not a complete fabrication, but a heavily edited version of what actually happened. In 2003, psychologist Elizabeth Loftus conducted one of the most famous experiments in cognitive science. She convinced perfectly healthy adults that they had been lost in a shopping mall as children, an event that never happened. And not only did they believe it, they started adding their own details. The color of the stranger's shirt, the sound of the music playing. Their brains manufactured an entire experience from nothing. This is called memory reconsolidation. Every time you recall a memory, your brain doesn't play it back like a video. It reconstructs it from scratch, and each reconstruction introduces tiny changes, new emotions, shifted details, people who weren't there. After enough recalls, your most cherished memory might be almost entirely fictional. Memory is not a recording. It is a reconstruction, and every reconstruction is a new creation. Think about your happiest childhood memory right now, the one that feels most vivid and real. If that just made you pause, hit like and subscribe, because the next facts are even crazier. Seriously, you're not ready for what your brain does next, because it doesn't just rewrite the past, it lies about the present too. Stop and think about this for a second. Are you a better driver than average? If you said yes, you're in good company. 93% of American drivers believe they are above average, which is, of course, mathematically impossible. Impossible. This is called the illusory superiority bias, and your brain runs it on everything. Your intelligence, your sense of humor, your work ethic, your moral compass. A 2018 study published in the journal Collabora found that the less competent someone is at a task, the more they overestimate their ability. This is the famous Dunning-Kruger effect, and it's not just an internet joke. It's a real, measurable distortion in human cognition. You think you're better. Your brain inflates your self-image like a balloon because deflation feels like a threat. Admitting you're average at something triggers the same neural pathways as physical pain. So your brain simply lies. It tells you you're special, unique, above the crowd. Your brain would rather lie to you than let you feel ordinary. And the cruelest part, the people who are most affected by this bias are the ones who are most convinced they are immune to it. If you're sitting there thinking this doesn't apply to you, that's the bias talking. But your brain's deception runs even deeper than self-flattery. Now, what I'm about to tell you sounds impossible, but it's been proven in laboratories across the world. Your brain doesn't experience time in real time. It edits the timeline. In 2004, neuroscientist David Eagleman demonstrated something remarkable. When you look at a clock and the second hand seems to freeze for just a moment before it starts ticking again, that's not your imagination. It's called chronostasis. Your brain is literally stretching time backward to fill in a gap in your perception. During a quick eye movement called a saccade, your brain goes temporarily blind. You don't see anything. But instead of showing you a blank, your brain takes the first image your eyes land on and projects it backward in time, filling in the gap you never knew existed. You experience roughly 40 minutes of blindness every single day from saccades alone. 40 minutes of nothingness that your brain seamlessly papers over. You are blind for 40 minutes every day and never notice. And it gets stranger. Remember when you were a kid and summer lasted forever? That wasn't nostalgia. Your brain encodes new experiences with more detail, making time feel slower. As an adult, fewer things are novel, so your brain compresses time. Time is not real. Your 20s fly by faster than your teens, your 30s faster still. Your brain is literally stealing your time. And the next thing it hides, that's where it gets truly insane. If you thought that was disturbing, you're not ready for this. Your brain doesn't just edit what you see and remember. It invents entire explanations for things it doesn't understand, and it does it so convincingly that you believe every word. This is called confabulation, and it's not lying. Lying requires knowing the truth. Confabulation is your brain genuinely believing its own fiction. Your brain creates stories and sells them to you as truth. In the 1960s, neuroscientist Michael Gazzaniga studied split-brain patients, people whose left and right brain hemispheres had been surgically separated. He showed one instruction to the right brain and a different one to the left. When asked why they performed an action only the right brain knew about, the left brain, the language center, instantly fabricated a perfectly logical explanation. No hesitation, no uncertainty, complete confidence in a total lie. The left hemisphere is a master storyteller. It creates a narrative to explain what it observes. And here's what should terrify you. Your brain does this constantly. Every decision you make, your brain generates a story about why you made it. But the real reason, often completely different. You didn't buy that car because it was practical. Your brain just told you that story afterward. You are not the author of your decisions. You are the narrator. And if you can't trust your own explanations for your own behavior, what can you trust? The answer to that question leads us somewhere even darker. Let me pause here because this next part changes the entire picture. Your brain isn't just hiding small things. It's hiding enormous, obvious changes happening right in front of your eyes. In a landmark 1998 experiment at Harvard, psychologists Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris showed participants a video of people passing a basketball. They asked them to count the passes. Simple enough. But halfway through the video, a person in a gorilla suit walked through the scene, stopped in the center, beat their chest, and walked away. Invisible. 50% of participants didn't see the gorilla. Not because they weren't paying attention, because they were paying too much attention to the wrong thing. This is inattentional blindness, and it proves something profound about your daily life. Gorilla in plain sight. Right now, there are gorillas everywhere. Opportunities you're missing because you're focused on counting passes. Problems growing right in front of you that your brain has labeled irrelevant. Relationships deteriorating. Health warnings ignored. Career paths you never see. Your brain has already decided what matters, and everything else, no matter how obvious, no matter how important, simply doesn't exist in your version of reality. Half your life is happening, and you are not seeing it. But we're not done. Because the next thing your brain hides might be the most consequential of all. Here's where the story takes a dark turn. Your brain doesn't just hide things from you. It actively manipulates your emotions to control your behavior, and it never tells you it's doing it. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio discovered what he calls somatic markers. These are emotional shortcuts your brain creates by tagging experiences with feelings. Burned your hand on a stove. Your brain didn't just record the event. It tagged it with pain and fear, so you'd never need to think about it again. Your body would simply refuse. Sounds useful, right? But here's the problem. Your brain applies these markers to everything. A bad experience with a colleague. Now your brain tags all similar people with distrust. a failed relationship, your brain marks vulnerability as danger. We are not thinking machines that feel. We are feeling machines that think. Every gut feeling you've ever had, every instinct, every hunch is your brain running a hidden emotional algorithm you have zero access to. You think you're making rational choices, but your emotions made the decision before you even started thinking. Your brain decided, tagged it with a feeling, and then let your conscious mind believe it was in charge. Emotions decide first. You're not the pilot. You're the passenger who thinks they're driving. And number 8 makes this look like child's play. Now forget everything I just said about small deceptions, because the biggest lie your brain tells you. It tells you every single second of every single day. Your brain hides the fact that you are going to die. In 2019, researchers at Bar-Ilan University in Israel made a stunning discovery. They scanned people's brains while showing them information about death. When the death-related information was about the participant themselves, the brain's prediction system literally shut down. Shut down. It refused to process the information. The brain treats personal mortality as a prediction error so catastrophic that it simply blocks it. You can understand death intellectually. You can say the words, but your brain will not let you truly feel it as real. Your brain cannot process its own ending. This is called mortality salience suppression, and it's arguably the most profound deception of all, because it affects everything. Why do you procrastinate? Because your brain whispers there's always tomorrow. Why do you stay in jobs you hate? Because your brain hides the urgency of a finite life. Your brain hides death so you can function, but the cost is you waste your life. Death hidden every day. Every time you scroll instead of creating. Every time you postpone instead of acting. That's your brain's death denial, keeping you comfortably numb. And that leads us to the most disturbing revelation of all. This is the one that kept me up at night. And this is what I promised you at the beginning. The thing so disturbing you'll never look at your thoughts the same way. Your brain hides the fact that you don't have a self. Not the way you think you do. That voice in your head, the one narrating your life, the one you call I, that's a construction. A story your brain tells to create the illusion of a unified person. Neuroscientist David Eagleman spent decades studying this and concluded that consciousness is like the CEO who takes credit for the work of thousands of employees they've never met. Your brain is a collection of competing neural processes, each fighting for dominance, and the narrator, that voice you think is you, is just the press secretary announcing decisions that were already made. Consciousness is the brain's best trick, making itself believe it's in charge. You didn't choose to read this far. Competing processes in your brain negotiated, and the winner was curiosity. The narrator just told you it was your decision. The voice you call yourself is the last to know what you will do next. Self is an illusion. Comment which of these 7 revelations disturbed you the most. I bet most of you will pick this one. Send this to someone who thinks they know how their own mind works. So here we are. Your brain hides your nose, rewrites your memories, inflates your ego, warps your sense of time, invents explanations, blinds you to the obvious, puppeteers your emotions, denies your mortality, and fabricates the very self that thinks it's in control. 1. It erases what it deems irrelevant. 2. It rewrites memories each time you recall them. 3. It inflates your self-image to avoid pain. 4. It edits your experience of time. 5. It invents stories to explain your behavior. But here's what your brain doesn't want you to know. Awareness is the antidote. The moment you understand these biases, they lose some of their power. Not all of it, never all of it, but enough to change how you live. The greatest prison is a mind that does not know it is captive. Knowing your memories are unreliable makes you more forgiving of others who remember differently. Knowing about illusory superiority makes you humble enough to actually learn. Knowing your emotions decide before your logic does makes you pause before reacting. And knowing that time is being stolen makes every moment feel a little more precious. You cannot escape the cage until you see the bars. Your brain will keep running these programs. That's what it does. But now you can see the code. If you made it this far, comment blind spot to prove you're among the few who actually watch to the end. See the bars now. The truth is stranger than anything you could make up. Subscribe if you want to keep discovering. Your brain built these walls to protect you, to keep you functioning in a world of overwhelming information. But protection and imprisonment share a dangerously thin line. The unexamined life is not worth living. Today you saw behind the curtain. You saw the nose your brain erases, the memories it rewrites, the time it steals, and the self it fabricates. Most people will watch this and go right back to sleep. Their brains will file this under interesting and move on. But some of you, a rare few, will carry this awareness forward. You'll catch yourself mid-confabulation. You'll notice the emotional puppet strings pulling before you react. You'll remember that time is shorter than your brain pretends. Wake up now, and that changes everything.